Hey guys, LyonLife here, and welcome back to another Atelier Resleriana video. Today is the day that all of us have been waiting for the longest time. We finally have Litty and Sewell in the game, and I am beyond super excited because y'all know I've been talking about Litty and Sewell, mostly Litty, the last couple of weeks, so not last month or so, just because I've been really hyped to try to get her on my team. She eluded me in JP, and I'm really hoping that I don't get shafted again here in Global for her. But so today's video is gonna be a little bit different. We're gonna try to condense things. I say try to condense. What I want to do going forward is just try to separate some content. So this video itself is just gonna solely be just about the characters, my thoughts and feelings on the both of them, and kind of going over how to build them, etc., and kind of just going from there. I want to keep the recipes and event guide stuff. I want to take a look at that in the future, maybe in the next day or so, have those videos come out as well too, just because it'll help me overall to kind of spread out some content versus just info dumping for 20+ minutes like I've been doing. Some people might not necessarily like that change, but I hope you still support your boy and I would appreciate that. But yeah, I think that's the model I'm going to go for going forward in terms of videos and content. So look forward to that. So like I said, we're gonna try to keep this one relatively short. So let's go ahead and get into it. We are gonna take a look at Litty and Sewell. We're gonna go over their kits. Let's get them pulled up here. So let's go with Sewell first, because she's more so the easier one to go over, I would say. So Sewell is going to be a strike attacker. She's not too bad. Her overall stats are pretty decent. She's got a middle ground speed of 239, which is, not too fast, but she's not slow either by any means. Her attack is pretty okay, as I said before. Looking at her passives, she's got a really good one here. I think it's not incredibly powerful, but it's still pretty good compared to other traits that we get on characters. But she's got a physical attack buff for all allies by 10%. Not bad. Honestly, any extra damage is extra damage. So it's one of the more, I would say, better passives to get on a character, just because it's going to help everyone. It's not just one person. It's just going to help the team as a whole. So obviously you want to throw her into a physical comp team. She would shine in that. The next passive, taunt resist, meh. We don't really care about that. That's not anything special. That's not anything to write home about. But yeah, so there's that for her for her passives. Her skill 1 here says quick thrust. Her skill 1 is going to boost damage by 5 to 25% depending on her HP. The higher the HP range, from 20 to 100% HP. So she'll do higher damage based off of her HP levels. This essentially is in the entirety of her kit, this gimmick or this niche thing. A lot of her damage is just strictly based on how high her HP is, essentially. So you would use her skill 1. You're gonna range from, at the very lowest percentage, if she's got 20% left of HP, she'll do 5% extra damage, but at 100% she'll do up to 25%. Power wise, normal skill 1s are usually always at 100 for the wait time anyway. But yeah, you'll see this in her whole kit. We'll get into it, but yeah, pretty much the higher HP she's got, the more damage she's gonna output. Her skill 2 here, Falcon Storm, it's gonna boost boost damage by 20% when her HP is above 50% or higher, and by a further 30% at full HP. So for her skill 2, damage is pretty okay. A little low in my opinion, but it's fine. At 50%, she's doing 20% more damage, but at full HP, she's doing 80% more damage. So not bad there. That's still a pretty significant amount of more damage on top of what she would normally do, just based off her HP level. Her burst, though, is pretty good. I just hate the fact that it's tied to, again, her HP. She's got a 500% damage, which is pretty standard for all attackers anyway. It's going to boost damage by 80% when HP is at full. So if we look at Sewell, overall, she's a normal, average, middle of the run, I guess, attacker. She can put out decent damage, but the requirement to that is keeping her HP up, right? So if you look at this in terms of harder content, like end game content, maybe even in tower, she can be really good. You just have to keep her HP up. And I guess this is why it makes sense why she also pairs with Litty, because Litty heals, has an AoE heal obviously too, so that makes sense why they can kind of go together in a team. But I just hate the fact that like her damage is purely scalable only by her HP levels. So you really have to put her in a team that you don't necessarily probably have to work as hard, or at least keep her in a team where you're always going to be keeping her healthy, keeping her HP up. That's probably the only thing. Again, Sue's a pretty good character. I like Sue a lot. I really, really do. I just hate the fact that her damage is only based off her HP levels. That's the only thing. Other than that, Sue's a really good character. If you pull her, I don't think you'll be disappointed if you happen to get her. But like I said, is she meta? Is she like one of the best characters? No, by no means is she that. You know, I would say out of her and Litty, I wouldn't go for her specifically. But, you know, if you get her, you're not disappointed by any means whatsoever. Her gifts, they're whatever, nothing too crazy. Her main gift for physical damage boosts for full, again, it's only going to be useful for full HP. It's not usable. It's not really that great. Pretty meh. You don't need this. You're probably never going to use it. So, you know, it is what it is. But that's for her gifts as well. So like I said, overall, Suella's good. You don't necessarily need her by any means, but if you do get her, she can be pretty useful, and you can put her in some pretty good comps. But again, you just got to make sure you're keeping her healthy in terms of her HP, so she can put out the most damage she possibly can. All right, so let's go ahead and we're gonna take a look at Miss Litty now. So Litty off rip is like such a meta character, even going to JP as well too. She's such a good character. I can't say more good things about Litty. Just even before we even get into the kit, even before we even go over what she does, it's just she is a phenomenal character. She's going to be a character that you use long term in a lot of comps. She can kind of go into any comp essentially too. So really, really great. But here's Litty. We'll take a look at her. Let's take a look at her gifts and stuff first. Kind of the similar. The really good thing about her gift in this case is you can use her for synthesis when you're trying to make equipment for her, right? Because she's going to boost recovery given to all allies by 3 to 25%. So that's really good for her specifically. So it really works out that they gave her that gift when you want to make equipment for her. And we'll go over, you know, making some how to build her as well too in a second. So for her passive, she's got Power Surge Go, which is basically going to boost her skill damage for all boost skill damage by 30% for all her bolt allies, right? And the sucky part about this is that it's so very niche. We don't have a lot of like really good bolt attackers. We're gonna get some in the future, obviously, just not right now. We don't have anyone pretty amazing. It's like, yeah, we have Vayne, but Vayne isn't that great overall. You know, Vayne has his niche as well too, where he has to be attacked to do better, but so, you know, it is what it is. But this is a really substantial damage buff, but it just sucks that it's mainly only for bolt enemies. I'm sorry, bolt party members or bolt characters in your team. This would be really, but I mean, I guess it would be really broken if it was 30% for the entire team, given the fact that what her other skills do as well too. So I get it. But yeah, I hate that this is like a niche thing, but I also understand it. But if you look at it as an investment going forward in the future, there's going to be some characters like Izana. Izana is a wonderful, probably one of the better thunder attackers we're ever going to get for the time being. Izana is a really good thunder attacker, so she would complement a team with her really, really well. But that's her passive, one of them. The next one, paralysis resistance, you know, whatever, we don't really care about that, pretty standard. In terms of her speed, she's got a decent speed. She's a little faster, barely a little faster than Suelle. Stats pretty run of the mill, pretty middle. But her skill one here, we're taking a look at Vitality Up. It's going to boost skill damage of an ally by 9%, so a single target range for one character at a max of 18%, and it restores the target's HP by 9% at the start of the turn for 2 turns. So it's a passive heal, and it's a passive skill buff. skill damage buff as well to a character. So really good still. You know, this is the gimmick about her kit in general, is as far as like the skill damage. But yeah, at a max of 18%, so it's stackable. So yeah, really good skill 1 to add on to her for your attackers. Hit them with that so they can do more damage. Her skill 2, Twinkle Shower, this is her AoE heal as well as a skill damage boost. So after recovery, it's going to boost target skill damage by 20% for 1 turn. So she's got an AoE heal pretty similar to Meru. She doesn't output as much healing as Meru does, but you could also mitigate that and like min-max that with better traits for recovery traits, like for her gift, for example. You can put that on some of her equipment to kind of amp that up a little bit to make it a little bit better. But she does have an AoE heal, but primarily, like I said, her skill damage buff of 20% for 1 turn is phenomenal. So you really want her to go first. Well, go before your attackers anyway. That way they can make use of this buff going forward and getting that extra bit of damage in. And of course, this scales up when you get better traits for this on weapons as well too. One of the main traits for Litty is going to be, I believe it's called Enhanced All buff or Enhanced Damage buff, something like that. I'm probably forgetting the name, but I believe it's Enhanced Damage buff A for all. I believe that's what it is. So it's going to, matter of fact, before I'm a liar, let me look it up before I'm crazy. All right, let's take a look at Barrel Wisdom for traits, enhanced. Let's see, what do we got for enhanced? I know it's somewhere in here. Here we go. Yeah, so enhanced damage buff A, that's what it is. This is going to boost the potency of damage buffs given to attackers by 5 to 50%. So up to 50% if you get it at rank 5, obviously, to increase attackers' damage by 50%. This alone is fantastic. But when you couple that with her additional 20%, we're already hitting at, that's 70 right there, right? But if you put that on multiple pieces of equipment, you could have upwards to like 200 to 250% damage increase, for skill damage increase on your attackers. That's phenomenal. So you see, like, she is such like an energy builder, energy charger, however you want to call it, but like she is such a wonderful buffer. And if you build her the correct way with that trait, the enhanced damage buff A, alongside a healing buff, you're really just maximizing her potential here. And there's a couple different ways we can get it. You can get the enhanced damage buff from the Lake Master mat. You can get it from Unknown Agate, or Augite, however you say that, and the Red Hot Crystal as well too. So you can get it a couple different ways. Most of those I think are in dungeons. I think you get those from. I know the Lake Master you can get in a couple different dungeons, I believe, or just one specific one, I forget. But yeah, so if you build that up and if you get rank 5 for those traits, you're maximizing her damage, her being able to support and give a crazy amount of damage to characters like Ryza or Valeria, whoever you want to put it on, but you're maximizing the potential of what they can do damage wise, and it's insane if you build her and get those trait levels up to as high as they can possibly be. Next, looking at her ult here, Steel Canvas, it says it's her only ability that attacks too. So her skill 1 and skill 2 don't do any damage at all. So her burst is the only way she's going to be doing any kind of damage to enemies. But it says after attacking, it's going to boost skill damage of the next ally in turn order at the time of skill use by 100% for 1 turn. And then it also reduces all attribute resistances of the target by 25%. This is nuts. Absolutely nuts. So if you couple, so you want to use her burst, obviously you use Liddy's burst, and hopefully you have it positioned and set it up so that the next character in line is an attacker. That's obviously who you want to use it for. So characters like Ryza, characters like Valeria, or even if you have her with Sue, you can do that as well too. Use her ult, pop the ult, get the buff of 100% off rip from the burst ability, on top of the enhanced damage buff as well too. Like, this is insane how much damage you can do. And on top of that, you also reduce the resistances of all resistances to whoever you're fighting, or whatever enemy you're attacking as well too, by an additional 25%. So you're already doing an insane amount of skill damage on top of the fact you even weaken it by an additional 25%. That's crazy. Like, it feels like it's unheard of. It feels like it's cheating. But like, I feel like everyone gets it. It makes sense. Like, bottom line, Litty is so good. So good. And I really encourage you guys, if you do happen to get her, you will not be disappointed by any means. You definitely want her on your team, that is for sure. I'm really excited to try to get her. I really hope that we do. I'm somewhat close, I believe, on my wish medals also, so even if I don't get her, I think I have a decent chance. I don't want to have to get her with wish medals. I want to save my wish medals for like another character like Master Ryza or Izana, because that I didn't have them also. Well, no, I had Ryza in my JP account, but I didn't have Izana. So I'm hoping to be able to save those for them. So we'll see. Lastly, I want to go over the Memoria. It's called Our Masterpiece. Stat wise, it's primarily a defensive one, as you can see here, for the physical defense and magic defense, but not by much, only by like a little over 2.5%. So that's not too bad. For the actual trait it has, it's got attack and support damage up 3. This is like one of the better Memorias out there. This is probably one that if you get a couple copies of it, it wouldn't be a bad idea to use your memory crystals on it if you wanted to, because you're going to be able to boost skill damage by an additional 28% for all your attackers, for all your supporters. This is such a really good trait. Like, and we don't see this often on a lot of Memorias that we currently have, and the sad part is that it is limited. So if you do get it, that's great. If you're not able to get it, you know, you're not missing out on much, especially if you only get one copy of it. But this is obviously at rank 5, so at rank 5 it's 28% skill damage, so still pretty phenomenal, really crazy. But even if you get one copy, this is still additional damage you can put on another character, whether it's a tank or whoever, to increase the damage of your attackers and supporters. So you're just, either way, you're still getting more passive buffs for characters, and you can never go wrong with that. So while the stats are pretty okay, they're nothing crazy. Primarily also the speed is pretty low on this at a 4.25%. Like, that's not that great. There are going to be some Memorias down the line that do have better speed on it than this one does, but just for the buff alone, you know, it's worth getting, but I wouldn't say it's worth trying to pull for, given the fact that it is limited. So there's also that. But that pretty much does it. I mean, that pretty much goes over all of my thoughts and feelings on that. We'll get into the pulls in a second here. But yeah, guys, honestly, Litty for me is the one. Like, that's who I really want, and I really hope you guys happen to get her too. Again, Sue is also really good, but she just has that niche setup for herself that requires you to have her HP up. So she's definitely usable. She's really good for Strike Tower. She's phenomenal and probably in Strike Tower if you keep her healthy. But in general, like, you're not gonna be disappointed for either one of them, depending on who you get. But obviously, yeah, Litty would probably be the better choice, who everyone's gonna get, because you're gonna get more utility out of Litty long term. Very much so. You're never gonna not be able to use her in a team comp, just because she's, like I said, she's raising up your skill damage. She still puts out healing, so if you do need healing, you can get that out of her too as well. Healing isn't too crazy in this game as of right now, but it's nice to have an option for it somewhere. And the fact that she also buffs you up pretty well, you know, you can't beat that. You absolutely can't beat that. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get into some pulling. First, let me go ahead and grab these tickets, because I need those. I'm hoping to not have to use my gems outside of these tickets, because we're not working with a whole lot, as y'all can see right now. So even after these, we're gonna have 3 pulls, and then I'll still have what, two more after that. If we don't get Litty on the, out of the ticket pools, we'll have 2 more that we can use. I don't know if I want to do that, simply because we're going to be getting Master Ryza and Izana down the line soon. Like, I'm pretty sure Ryza's next, which really sucks, because like, those are also 2 really good characters that are coming back to back. So I don't know how this is gonna work out. I really just hope we get lucky with these tickets, because I don't want to have to dip into gems. So let's see how this goes. So y'all, pray with me, put your hands together, pray to whatever you pray to, and if you don't pray to a deity, you know, just wish me the best of luck, because we need it. I don't have Litty on my JP account, so I would love to have her on this one if possible. So let's get it. Alright, let's see what we get. See if we get some winks. Nope. Wow, not a single wink. Oy, 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 oy. That's not a good sign. That's not a good start. We got Oscar, okay. Like, I don't know. I didn't expect to get it on the first. It just would have been nice. Or at least some kind of Memoria. But alright, let's go again. See what happens. Like, ooh, just the one. Okay. Memoria. Well, there's that. I hate it. I hate it here. Please, come on, man. Give me Litty. Please give me Litty. No. Oh, come on. Neither one of the winks. Okay, we got 2 pulls with regular gems, so I really hope excuse me, I really hope we get lucky. Oh. Come on, man. This hurts. That hurts. Like, there's still some time, and I'm technically in the position that, like, I could spend. I just don't want to. But that's it for me, guys. I will see you guys in the next video. Make sure you guys like, subscribe to the channel as well too. Comment down below, did you get Litty or Sewell? Did you want either one of them? I imagine people did. Everyone was hyped for Litty, obviously, so there's that. But yeah, let me know how your pools went. Let me know how you're doing at the event. If you're watching this now, I'm probably live on Twitch anyway. Either I'm streaming the event or streaming something else. Who knows? But yeah, come say hi, come hang out, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.